Well, I'm glad you did get it.
Y'all ready? All right, gentlemen, we'll go ahead and get started. Looks like it is 6:02. First order of business, I want to hand out everybody the suggested budget from Budget and Finance for this upcoming year's budget year. I have to say, this is probably the overall best budget I've ever had the opportunity to work with. Appreciate the Budget and Finance. They did a lot of hard work, made a lot of decisions, but every one of our balances increased. We paid extra money on the principal for the jail. So I'm very, very proud of the budget. The school system budget looks good. Solid waste is breaking even, praise the Lord. So everything looks really, really good. Look at it. If there's any questions that you may have, just please let me know. So we will go ahead. This is on the agenda to be passed the 28th at our regular monthly meeting. Try to keep the agenda as light as possible for that night. Also, tonight's workshop is dedicated to interviewing and talking with folks that want to be considered for the appointment of the first district vacancy on the school board. That will be on the 28th agenda as well. If I want to go over how we'll go over the interview process tonight. Please feel free if you have any questions, and I'm going strictly off of how we've done this in the past. I'll take all the people here that want to meet with Budget and Finance, and we'll get a number. If there's 4, then I'll number 1 through 4. Put it in a hat. They'll draw the order and say that they'll be interviewing with the commission. Number 1 will come in, and I'm going to ask the other 3 to step outside, because I don't want before that has just worked best. Then once the person has been in the interview process, if they want to remain out there, that's fine, but you want to make sure that folks have a opportunity to not get information or questions or concerns prior to. Try to limit that to 10 minutes. We're not on no timer for sure, but we want to stay conscious of everybody's time and not ramble off on rabbit trails and just get to the point. Also, I ask those folks that's going to be heard tonight that in no form or fashion I ask you to step outside anything. It's just to be fair. And also that somebody's in the audience not to be texted or anything. So with that being said, I have 5 resumes that was turned in. I'll give you all a copy of all the resumes. And in the meantime, who all is here tonight to be interviewed by the county commission? So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. So, all right.
We had 5 resumes.
Yeah. So one I did not attend. Okay. So I'm gonna write the numbers down. I'll take these.
There's 5, aren't there, Mayor?
So 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, good. I see them all now.
Somebody's not gonna get this. The paper go around.
Yeah, I just gotta have it right there.
Oh, sweet. All right, who wants to go first? Somebody raise your hand. You want- all right. All right. There you go. All right. All right, who has number one? You have number one. Well, the other three, please go outside. Thank you. And now who has number two? You got it. Yeah, okay. It'll be just about 10 minutes. We'll try to limit 10 minutes and we'll be right with you. So if you do not have Ms. Winton's resume, I have a copy of that and I'll pass it out right now.
I'll take one.
Tiffany, if you want to stand up, sit there, come over here, or however, and
Why don't we give her a spread out and give her a chair right there in the middle?
Yeah.
Do that. Chair right there. She might get nervous and can't stand up all night. Come on, Tiff. Get your chair.
got your chair right here.
Hey, you got you one. Come over about me, but I got, you take blood pressure medicine? I always tell them ahead of time. I got blood pressure.
Yeah, sure. I got around the car and stopped raining.
It's
That's
Dawn.
probably Dawn.
Look at it.
You move it.
We appreciate you coming out and wanting to take a job like this, because it's a hard job. I mean, people get mad at you, different things. I mean, it's a tough job. I mean, can't make everybody happy. So thank you for coming in and showing
Ain't
interest.
no difference in us, we can't make everybody.
No. But no need to be nervous. I know it's easy for me to say, right?
You got
Go ahead and state your
cheating
name.
and left.
My name's Tiffiany Winton. I live at 1664 US 41, Kelvin, Tennessee.
Well, if I may, Mr. Chair, I've got some questions wrote down. I want you to ask every question to all of them.
All right, if it's all right with the commission, we'll start down there with you. If you have questions,
I've got 6 of
let's
them,
try to,
and I want to ask every participant these questions. Ms. Winton, do you have a personal agenda or vendetta against any school board member, teacher, or director of school?
No, sir.
Number 2, did you graduate from Grundy County High School?
I did in 1996 at the old high school.
Excellent.
It was a good one then.
Do you have children in Grundy County Schools?
I do. I have a senior, Lillian Winton, and I have a junior, Liam Winton, and then I have an 8th grader called Dustin
Great.
Campbell. He's at Pamela.
What will you contribute to the Grundy County Board of Education if you retain the seat?
I'm a researcher, and I really don't like to answer questions unless I have done due diligence to find I read the laws, I read rules, I read policies, procedures, all the things, ask a lot of questions. And before I make what I feel would be an educated decision, I always familiarize myself with that knowledge. I do go to these school board meetings. So, and I keep up with it because I'm making decisions for my children and hopefully my grandchildren. So, I feel like that if you're gonna be on a board like this, you've got to do everything in your power to understand what you're making decisions on. And I do feel that you should lead with your heart when you make these decisions, because you also should think about all of the kids, not just my 3 kids, but all of the kids that I'll be making decisions for. Because at the end of the day, you're making decisions for the children. You're gonna be making decisions for teachers and things like that. You're gonna be making decisions, that will go along with what the director's vision is, what the school board's vision is and everything else. And I think that you really, really need to educate yourself on the things. And there's stuff that comes from Nashville that we have to make decisions on. And you need to familiarize yourself with those things.
How many, Grundy County Board of Education meetings have you attended in the past?
Oh, Lord. All of them. Except for 2, and I watched them on the internet.
Okay.
So I was at work and I
Last
watched.
question I have is, have you spoken with the director and gotten an update of what we need to move our school system forward?
Yes, there has to be a 5-year plan, there has to be, he needs an extension, so he can express what his vision of Grundy County education is going to be like.
And the last question is, do you think you can work diligently with the director of schools and the president board of education?
Yes, sir. I think I can.
Thank you, Mr. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, next, Commissioner Lockhart.
That's enough. Here you go. I'm good. You got a pass. I'm
I just don't support this director of schools and what he's trying to do for our
I
county.
can.
And
I absolutely can.
back him with and fight against him all the time like us. I've done.
You haven't, I don't think you're ever gonna have a unanimous board, but I do think that you gotta have communication. You've gotta ask questions. There has to be open dialogue with the school board members, the directors, and the people that are sitting in that little table right there. There's the people that sit at that table that are in front of looking at the board, like Dr. Webb and Val Nunley. You have to work with them as well. It's not just the director, it's all of them. And you have to take into consideration, if you disagree, you can disagree, but you need to disagree, ask questions, and figure out the common goal. And the common goal is to make this education system better than it ever has been.
Had you been on the board, school board, at the time they were voting on that policy, would you have supported it? Or?
Absolutely, 100%.
That's all I've done.
Tiffany, have you ever run for school board before?
No, sir.
So why didn't you run last time?
Why didn't I run the last time? That's a good question.
I intend to ask everybody these same questions. Almost all of them has already been asked, so.
Because I felt like that the people that we had put in place, once when they were doing their campaign, I thought that they were gonna do well. I had one look me in the eye, and I believed him when he said, I'm for the teachers, I'm for this, I'm for that.
Sure.
And I believe, when you tell me you're gonna do something, I believe on your word. When you look me in the eye and you say, I'm for the teachers, I'm this, I'm this, I'm this, I'm this. I believed in my district person.
Sure.
I'm disappointed in him now. But I felt like that we had a board that was going to work well. Well, we know what happened. And I don't feel like that they do enough research, or they do enough of the things that they need to do in order to get the future of the school system going. I prayed about this a long, long time before I did. I'm gonna cry. Sorry. I'm sorry.
You're good, so you're good.
We have to have a board that supports our children. They don't support our children. In my opinion, there are certain ones that don't support our children. If we don't do something, our kids are not gonna be able to strive to where they can be. We have to support a vision that is going to excel in each and every one of these children from pre-K all the way up to senior. They are going to have to succeed, and and if we can't do that with this board, I'm a stakeholder in this because I got kids, and I'm not gonna let my kids fail. And if this is what it takes for me to do this, then that's what I'm gonna do.
Would you, would it be your intention that you would run in the next election for this seat if you were appointed?
Well, yeah, I ain't gonna start something not finishing.
All right, last question. So over the last couple of years, there have been, from what I've seen, there's been more strides taken to take care of our buildings than there ever has since I think I've been alive. Short of building the new high school, there wasn't a lot of buildings that were taken care of. We saw the results of that, unfortunately, because they weren't taken care of. But not only that, but kind of the way that the school system has been going for the last couple of years. Do you feel like it's been moving in the right direction, or do you feel like that it's been moving in the wrong direction, or what's your opinion of kind of how the direction the school system has been going over the last couple of
I think
years?
the school system is good. It is, I went to Coleman Elementary. I love that school. But I remember what shape it was in when I was there in the 80s.
Sure.
I know what's in that school, and I'm gonna tell you right now, as a parent, and I work on the engines, and I know what stuff does to kids. I wouldn't have allowed my child to go to that school because of the disarray and the bacteria and the mold and all the things that is in it. So if we have to close a
Bacteria
school.
are ubiquitous.
Everybody knows, listening to me.
If we have to close schools to keep our children healthy and safe, then absolutely. Absolutely. Why would you leave them open?
Sure.
Why would you leave a kid in that school? Don't do that.
Overall, you feel like we're heading in a good direction?
Yes, I do.
I've got one question.
Okay, go ahead.
In a heated situation, the school board meeting, and I'm sure you're gonna be there, can you hold your composure?
Oh, yes, sir. You wanna ask my husband?
No, because I know he says yes. But that's one
Yes, sir,
thing.
I can.
Some people can't, some people can.
I can.
You know, there's 9 of us commissioners here, and we don't always agree, but I will tell you this. I think it's 14 or 16 years I've been a commissioner. And I'm gonna be honest about it, I think the rest of these guys will tell you the same thing. The biggest pain we got beside is the school board. We had trouble with budgets and so on down through there, and directors left and right, leaving and coming, which is not good.
You don't have that anymore.
Well, I hope that's it. And Mr. already knows that the first year he was here, I was kind of outside, inside, and I'm not the type to go hug somebody just because they say what I want to hear the first time, you understand?
Yes.
But I think Clint Derby has been a great director. I think he has schools in his heart, kids in his heart. He's a doer, not a sit behind the desk guy, okay? And that means a lot. But because you don't agree with somebody, we don't always agree. We manage to work it out, but we don't always agree. That's all we've got.
You had mentioned a 5-year plan, said we have to have a 5-year plan. What's the kind of programs or something you'd like to see the school system do over the next 5 years if you were creating a 5-year plan?
I was thinking about this the other day. My daughter's going in there first. We went down and we talked to the Air Force recruiter, and one of the things that he talked about was JROTC. We have retired veterans. We have the Armory that's really, really close. If we have many children, last year when I went to graduation, there was several children that, and the year before, there were several children that were in the military. If we had an JROTC program here, they wouldn't go in as an E1, making, right at to be $400 a month. They would go in as an E3, which increases it by $1,000. Now, a kid going in the military by themselves, running off for 6 weeks without their mom and daddy, and being in big boy camp. That elevation of that, of having the money for them to be able to, take care of themselves and things like that, that would be a good program. Another one is, I don't know why we ain't got a band. There are a lot of kids that play sports, but there's a lot of kids that don't play sports. Like my baby, he played football for his freshman year. Just wasn't his cup of tea. My youngest one plays baseball. He's gonna play baseball until he gets done. And I hope he goes to France, but if he don't, that's fine too. But there has to be, you can get a band scholarship. My cousin got a band scholarship to UTK. Full ride. I think he's a career student, but he got a full ride. We've got music teachers. There's a music teacher that comes and plays the piano, and it's like a pedal. So maybe band, and then we've got to have other alternatives for the kids that don't play sports. I think the programs that we do have at the high school are good, but we need some more programs for some of the kids that are, so they don't slip in the cracks.
Yeah.
So I think those two programs, those are the ones that I've seen about that today. And I think those would be good.
Grundy County had a band at one time.
I know, I think.
I was too.
There's a whole room of trophies where we had a good band.
Yeah.
I was in my freshman and sophomore year, and then I was
Field.
So, but yeah, I mean, it's just we need an atmosphere. I know that when my husband and I were in high school, there was this atmosphere of this camaraderie of the community, where the community just came in and they just loved us, and it was, the football games and the baseball game. It was just football, it was baseball, and it was basketball. I mean, the community came in and they celebrated the children. We need something like that, because we don't have that, for like that comes Friday Night Lights feeling, where, my husband was telling me, like on a Sunday morning, he'd go in and get him some breakfast, and somebody would be like, I seen you run that touchdown on Friday. That's good, They may not know who he is, but they know what his number was, and and one of those, we need that again. And I know by moving to high school from there to there, we rode through town, Tracy was thriving and everything else. And Tracy needs to be thriving again. I rode my kids through town, they're like, oh, this is awful. I'm like, oh, it's wonderful. But we need that atmosphere so the kids can feel like their town loves them, their community loves them. We need that hometown feel again. And old band's gonna do that, But it'll give the other children that don't necessarily want to play sports an opportunity to do something else, and then they can get full ride scholarship to UTK or wherever else they want to go.
Well, I have one more question, and thank you for answering that.
I'm long-winded, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay, and my next question can be a yes or no answer, it's fine. So it's really important to me, this is my 20th year as a teacher, this will start my 20th year as a teacher. And during that 20 years, I have seen this board divide up into factions just about every year I've been a teacher. 5 to 4, then there's an election, then this side's got 5 and this side's got 4. And so many people I see just vote the way their buddies are voting. That's my question. Can you be a level-headed person that looks at each issue individually and votes your mind, regardless of whether the other 8 are against you or not?
I said it by myself, I don't know.
And that's what I want to know. I want to know that.
Yes, sir. Well, and I mean, if you read one of the policies one of the policies of the school board members is one of their, basically their contract of how they're gonna do it. You're not supposed to take sides. You're supposed to be level-headed and make your own decision. I can't quote the policy, but it is a policy that you need to vote based on what you feel is right. You don't buddy up with everybody else.
Well, that's something I've told these commissioners from the very beginning of this. I just want somebody level-headed that will make their own decisions. So,
I mean, I said, I don't care.
thank you. That's all I got, guys.
Yeah, Tiffany,
Yes, sir.
I was disappointed you didn't tell them that you had went to EMT school.
I went to EMT
And
school
there you
in
go.
2005 and 2006.
So how have you utilized that EMT service for Grundy County? What are you doing with it right now?
I have been, I'm on Grundy County EMA. I volunteer for that. One thing that I have learned in EMS is the best thing that you can do is shut up.
You've learned that. Yeah, I'm not real on that.
You need to come right with me, you'll find out.
So just recap, you went to school here, you graduated here, you
Yes,
got
sir.
3 kids in school
Yes,
right now,
Yes, sir.
right? You work EMS and you're utilizing that with Matt Griffin's EMA group.
Yes.
Okay. Well, have you been a resident most of your life here?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, I didn't know that, curious, just checking. But, really, Mike Cordell asked all the questions I wanted to ask,
Yeah.
so.
Yes, well, mine too.
Good. Thank you, Dawn.
Thank you very much. Brewster.
Thank you, Tiffany.
Thank you for coming.
Everything's been answered as I
Thank you.
Keep quiet.
It's right up your way. Look at you. Right there.
That's right.
Yeah. Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah, they stay together very quick on housing.
That's how we can do this. So. Here you go. Here you go. That's around. There's a few minutes done. Please. Yeah.
That's the moment.
Yeah. Well, no, I gave you one.
I think there's 7 more out there. Yeah.
Another 3. All right, now.
Are we ready, Ms. Carroll?
Yes, sir, go ahead.
Would you care to state your name and what's your doing present?
Dustin Campbell, and I guess you could say forced early retirement. Disabled.
You live here in
Yes.
Alabama versus
Kind of on the line between Berkshire and Alabama.
that's what,
You know, Allen and Moss Campbell.
yeah.
Right. Right there.
I've got 2 questions. I get my focus on do you have a personal agenda or vendetta against any school board member, teacher, or director of school?
No, sir.
We're asking the same questions to everybody.
Yeah,
So, you
everybody
know,
gets the same questions.
everybody's getting the same ones.
Everybody
Yeah.
gets the same.
No, you're fine. That's where you want.
Did you graduate from Grundy County High School?
Yes, sir.
Do you have children in the Grundy County school system?
Yes, sir. He'll be a junior next year.
One.
Yeah, just one.
What will you contribute to the Grundy County Board of Education if you retire this seat?
quite a lot. I mean, most of it is just kind of figuring out the lay of the land at first. I did run last year, but I've got plenty of ideas. I'd really like to talk to people. When I worked for the school system back in 2018, I actually went around to all the individual buildings, got to talk to the teachers and everything, and kind of listen to the changes. Now, a lot's happened since then, so I would kind of want to be updated on what people would like to see happen and everything. But I think the biggest issue right now is more communication. Personally, I would like to see kind of like a public forum go into place where everyone on the mountain, that, you know, teacher, parent, even the student, if they're old enough, you know, could go discuss, and we forum, something like with Facebook, where you have just this kind of like one page where everything goes. You can compartmentalize or, you know, bracket it out. So say for sports teams, softball, basketball, you can break that off to the side and have the individual teams, they can talk to one another, the coach can talk to the, you know, the kids, the same thing can go with the teachers, and where you can moderate it, you can set it to where individual people can go to different locations. So there could be a section just for the teachers, where all the teachers can go from the different schools to discuss, you know, anything that they would like to see change. And whether I become a board member or not, I can help, my volunteer help with that.
How many, school board meetings have you attended in the past year?
One, it's been very difficult finding, when and where.
I understand.
That's something I would actually like to see change too.
Have you spoken with the director and gotten an update of what we need to move forward in our school system?
No, sir, I'd like to hear more about that.
Can you work diligently with the director of schools?
Yes, sir.
That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Mr. Lockhart, Griswold?
No.
Dustin? In a heated situation, as a school board member, can you keep your cool?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's all I've got. Mr. Rocker? Mr. Lane?
You said that you ran in the previous election. Was that as a write-in? Is that what-
Unfortunately, I got misinformed multiple times during that.
Okay.
I came in early enough to be on the ballot, but they told me it was done and over with, and they contacted me 2 months later saying they misinformed me that I can run, but I would have to do it as write-in because I missed the date.
So that's a question that I asked the previous person if they'd ran before. She hadn't, so I had asked her why, but since you have, I don't necessarily have to ask you that, but I guess I do. So why did you and why do you want to be on the school board?
Just born and raised, I mean, this community, it's been my home. Like I said, forced retirement, I do not like sitting at home all the time. It's mind-numbing. But the unique perspective of that is I would actually have the time to listen to the people, listen to the parents, listen to the teachers. You know, be kind of like a local point of information. Think outside the box. I was a computer tech, fixing problems all the time. That's something I would, you know, like to add to the table. And I don't look it, I would like to point out I am 43. So I get treated like a 20-year-old a lot. It has its pros and cons. Unfortunately, people won't believe it, but it's mostly cons because everyone treats you like you're stupid. But no, a lot older than I look. Kind of understand the situation. I do know, especially back when I was in more communication with everyone, no one was really happy with it, but the way, you know, things were going on. I really feel like communication is probably the biggest issue. If everyone could just get together, I know resources are slim. We're from Grundy County. That's something that's never going to change. Get tourism in here all you want to. It does help, and I appreciate that. But you know, at the end of the day, you know, we are who we are, and we do fight for one another. I've always admired this community. I've lived in Nashville for almost a decade. living in Smyrna and the Antioch area, working for Dell in Nashville. And I know how people, the people at Dell were great, but when you go outside the city and stuff, just the way people treated you and, everything like that, you just don't have that same environment as up here. And that's one of the reasons why I came back. So my son could go to school up here. I chose here over all the other places I could have gone to raise my sons, but I chose here instead. And he went from a straight A student on his own merit. Now, we came about second grade with him. COVID hit and all that dropped off. I'm having to kick him in the back end now just to get him to pass. And I feel like a lot of schools shutting, packing them in like sardines might be part of it. I would still like to talk more with everyone, really find out what's going on, because the way him and a lot of the other kids talk about it right now, things aren't too good up there. Because it doesn't sound like him and his friends are the only ones that are struggling to pass. And I would really like to see academics go back up, focus more on that, and focus more on, trade school stuff that they can actually do once they get out of here. Because, when they step outside of school and they don't really have that drive to want to do anything or go to a tech school and just kind of fall off the grid, it's going to end up being drugs and everything else, arrests. We've got more problem people up here than we need when we can get into that right now. And just focus on what we can do to make things better for our kids.
So if you were appointed for this position, it would be your intention, I suppose, to run in the next election?
Yes, sir. Whether I get it or not, I probably will. I've got a lot of people that kind of push me.
So over the last couple of years, there's been some changes within the school system. And I expressed earlier, the buildings have been taken care of better in the last 2 years, probably 4 years, than they ever have in my lifetime. From new roofs to new air conditioners and things like that. But not only in regards to the upkeep of our facilities, but just overall in the school system over the last, we'll say 2 years, do you feel like we've been heading in the right direction or not the right direction? Or what's your opinion of kind of how we've been going over the last couple of years?
The way people talk, not the right direction. You're talking about the maintenance and upkeep of the schools.
Well, not only that, but just that as well, but
you kind of have
the entire school system. But you can speak to the maintenance if you'd like.
I probably will at some point. Like the AC blasting in the middle of summer didn't make too much sense to me. I actually wore a coat in the middle of summer back in 2018 when I worked in the vocational. I was reinstalling windows and all the computers, and no one's in the building, and I'm sitting there in the coat in the middle of summer. Those AC units can be cheap to run.
2018?
Yeah.
Okay, he said 5 years, so that's, I guess.
Well, he was talking more of the maintenance of the building.
So let me just back up. So on the last couple of years, how do you feel that we've been going, whether it's maintenance? Really, I want an overall picture of just the school system as a whole. Do you feel like in the last 2 years that we've been headed in the right direction or the wrong direction? Maybe I can just say it like that.
The last 2 years, I've won a lot more information. That's where if I was an official, I'd be able to talk to people and actually find out more and get a better feel if we've been headed in the right direction or the wrong direction. And one of the things I got asked in an interview back last summer is, with the superintendent, how, he's done all this and that, saved money, etc. I don't know how I really feel about him until I actually talk to him and see fine details of the actual work. He may be the best man for the job, he may not be. I won't know until I really dig down and look into it a lot closer. And actually being a board member would give me a better set of eyes and better contacts to be able to, really, I'm not qualified to answer that question.
Okay. That's all I have.
Well, I had 2 questions that I asked the last one. I'll ask you. It's important that Grundy County has a 5-year plan for where our school system is going. What are some programs or things you'd like to see implemented over the next 5 years to make our school system a better system?
The forum would probably be the biggest.
Communication, you talked about.
Yeah, I feel like we'd be able to pull our resources better as a small knit community. probably have, different people that may be able to donate to this, donate to that, if they knew more about it. There'd probably be other parents that would like to get involved, they don't know how. But if you've got this big, collection of information where everyone that's involved in the school system, or administrators, et cetera, can actually go and discuss things, I kind of feel it get the ball rolling on a lot of different ideas. You start to, okay, these people like this, these people like that, different parents, different teachers would like to see this and that done, and you'd actually start seeing a, progressive change, progressive, you know what I mean?
I do. All right, and then my last question was, this will make my 20th year of being a teacher. And I've seen a lot of factions form on the school board. It seems like every time there's an election, it's almost a 5-4 split, and it flips back and forth. My question is,
I hate that stuff.
my question is, can you be an individual voice? Can you be an individual vote and vote your mind regardless of what everybody else
I
is
don't
voting?
like to brag about myself, but when it comes to being unbiased, I'm probably the most unbiased individual you'll ever meet. Used to play games, still play it sometimes. We had this plan where people would fight and stuff like that and build up. This is where I actually ran a forum a couple times. A couple hundred people just on our side. We had to deal with all the other people, so they probably ended up a few thousand. But at the end of the day, you have these situations like you're talking about, these little cliques. I was always the voice of reason that would take a step back. Okay, let's look at it from this person's perspective. Let's look at it from this one's perspective. And, put myself in, everyone's shoes. And then I'd say this. It doesn't matter if I like this guy, he's, my best friend. This is what I think of the situation. And as much unbiased view as I can, because I don't, when you just instantly pick a side, that's why I'm not a Democrat or Republican. I just can't do it. I feel, the whole unbiased view is the best way to go, because you're just, I don't like politics.
But you can vote for what you think is best,
Yes, sir.
even if it's what everybody else does.
No, people will probably hate me because I will speak my mind every time. If you don't like what I'm about to say, I might say it anyways, because I'll at least drive the point I'm trying to make home. But that also comes from that whole unbiased perspective too, because these voices are the loudest. You're talking about your cliques and stuff, and this person's real quiet, but their idea sounds good. And if logically, if it makes sense, now this one actually sounds better. This sounds like it's going to work.
Thank you.
Do you have any professional license?
Which type?
Any type. I mean,
Around
something you could use for, have you ever used your license or your knowledge for volunteer work in the county?
No, but I've really been wanting to get more involved.
I got you. Another thing too is, of course, I've been here for a pretty good while, and we've got the best school director. We've had him, 70 years or something.
I'll say.
That's my opinion.
I'll third that.
So that's where we're at, and we've all kept track of him. And I'm looking personally for somebody that supports this fellow, because he's not had the support he needs. He's had some support, but he needs a longer contract, and that's where I'm looking.
Whether I like the person or not, I will support them, especially in the matter of kids.
Yeah.
Now, I will take y'all's word on it, and I'll actually weigh that heavily. I mean, the more people that tells me this is the best person we've had, I'm gonna listen.
I got you.
That pushes my pull more towards that. I would like to see for myself though, kind of like,
Absolutely.
the details.
I don't have any questions.
I'm good. Thank you very much.
Thank you for
Thank you for
coming.
coming.
Appreciate your time.
Have a good one.
You too.
I'm all right going home.
Yeah, you're fine. Yeah, you can stay or you're welcome to leave.
I think I'll head on home unless y'all need me for something.
You're fine. Thank you.
Sure. Come on down.
Yes, sir. We got everybody coming up here. Just lay back and just. We're going to use that right there.
yeah, it is every day. My brother's on it.
You're down at Pelham, ain't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
All the way down there. That one lady.
Everybody got their resume? Commissioner Cordell?
State your name and your occupation and where you live.
My name is Jeremy Taylor. I'm the county administrator for Skills Development Services in Oklahoma. I work with people with intellectual disabilities, supervised by 81 people there. I live at 15 Tom Patton Road. I live right beside Miss Maryland, right in front of Dolce. And she keeps me on my toes in the field.
Very out.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
And hey, I'm just saying, just so you know, we've asked the exact same questions to
Yes.
everybody. So if you hear something, don't think, I mean, we've asked the same ones to everybody.
Well, I wouldn't know because I didn't do anything. I wasn't listening by the door or anything.
Well, that's fair to everybody, if you ask everyone.
Yes,
I
thank
understand.
Do you have a personal agenda or a vendetta against any school board member, teacher, or director of school?
Well, truth is, I don't know too many of the school board members, or if I do, it would be in passing. I worked a little bit with Dr. Durley on a side contract as a threat assessment there at the school. Ms. Scott hired me in when I was there. But no, I have no vendetta nor ill will toward anyone.
Did you graduate from Grundy County High School?
Well, that's what they tell me, but I often dream that I did. And I don't have a diploma. But yes, I graduated in 1990. Or 94, excuse me, Pelham in 1990.
Do you have children in the Grundy County school system?
Yes, sir. I have 3 kids. My oldest daughters, Trinity and Tori, have already graduated through Pelham. Trenton Taylor played basketball for Coach Butler. Also coached with him a little while as assistant coach. And I'm one of the veterans over there, I might add. I'm very proud of that. But he's a junior this year.
What will you contribute to the Grundy County Board of Education if you retain this seat?
Well, I hope to bring maybe some stability to the position. I know that some previous Pelham representatives we've had have not been the very best. I'm not saying I'll be the best, but I think I'll be stable and rational for the most part. Listen, try to make the best decision I can with the information that's in it before.
Thank you. How many Grundy County Board of Education meetings have you attended in the past year?
Oh, I've never attended. I think I came to one when I was with when I was working for Dr. Durley, and then during the Palmer situation, that was quite an interesting experience, if you will. But no, I've not come to these meetings.
Have you spoken with the director and gotten an update of what we need to move our school system forward?
No, I have not. I've not spoken to Dr. Durley in years.
I've got one more. Can you work diligently with our director of schools?
Well, I hope my educational background alone is proof enough to the diligence of my work ethic as well as my current position and title. So yes, I do believe that I can.
That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Commissioner Lockhart, Commissioner Grizzly, Commissioner Love.
Well, I've asked everybody else this, so I'm gonna ask you.
Yes, sir.
In the heat of the moment, can you keep cool for the meeting?
Well, I want to believe with age has come some temperance, but I think we're all prone to passions from time to time. But yes, I do would like to keep my cool.
All right, Dr. Doherty goes over there. Do you think you could support him in what his vision is and what he's doing right now for our school system?
I see no reason why I could not.
What about the bonuses if the teachers got voted down? How would you have voted on that situation?
Well, I hate to engage in hypotheticals without information present to make a decision. Dr. Durley's an educated man, very educated man, and I would assume he had a rational reason for the decision which he made. As I'm not privy to that information, I cannot speak to what my decision will be.
Have you ever ran for school board before?
Negative.
Okay. Why didn't you run the last election?
Well, didn't know when the election was. Only heard about all this through Facebook, much like I heard about, the other stuff.
If you were to be appointed in this position, would it be your intention to run for that position in the next election?
Again, I can't speak to what my future thought process would be, but probably not. It just depends on how it goes. I really can't speak. I don't know what it pays or if it pays anything, which is irrelevant to me, where I don't need the money. But with that being said, if we can make a difference, we can move the district forward, we can do the best for the students and teachers, then possibly I would consider running.
Over the last couple of years, I have saw that our school system has done more under the leadership of Dr. Grundy for our school buildings, for our properties that we have. We've got new roofs, new air conditioners and things like that. And we've really been doing, I think the school system as a whole has been really doing a good job with upkeep on our buildings. But over the last couple of years, not just with upkeep and maintenance and things like that, but in general, do you feel like that our school system has been heading in the right direction over the last couple of years, or do you feel like that it's going in an opposite direction that from what you would have or what you would think would be best?
Well, I need to see the SIF. I need to see the school improvement plan. I need to know what the 3, 5, 10-year markers are in order to make ongoing decisions like that. You suppose mainly at maintenance. That's something you do in any organization or any building.
Sure.
That you have as far as upkeep goes. So I don't know what leadership I would call that, even though that is important, of course.
Well, the only reason I bring it up is because prior leadership hasn't done anything with our building. So
Again, I wouldn't know necessarily. I
Sure.
know Pella, when I was there a little bit as a paraprofessional, I think they had some air conditioner issues or something they were trying to get fixed. But I guess yes. As far as you're still here, right? So I think that speaks to something
Sure.
that he's doing right, because we've had, many of them haven't stayed very long. For
Sure.
whatever reason.
Yeah. All right, that's all I have.
Please, you're good.
Yeah, okay, so
Yes, sir.
I have the same 2 questions that I've asked everybody. So it's really important that the Board of Education have a 5-year plan, something in the future that they're looking to strive for. What are some programs or things that you would like to see us bring in over the next 5 years to improve our system?
Well, that is a difficult question, one that I'm not completely prepared for. I've always been a proponent of continuing education, but that's something all teachers have to do. So one, I think increasing the technology infrastructure. If I remember correctly, I know one time when we first restarted those testing, I was trying to remember exactly what happened because I was at home at the time, but we were supposed to do all these state comp tests on the computer and nothing worked.
Yeah.
So that was kind of, anticlimactic, for maybe lack of a better term. I know many of the tech people maybe didn't go to tech school. I'm not saying that you have to go to tech school to be a tech person. I consider myself an okay online gamer, but I'm not a computer engineer. So I guess that's one thing. I think one thing we need is a Spanish teacher, right? That's just something. Only because I remember some people talking about this maybe last year, and I remember this when I was at the high school, just with a lot of the kids talking, we were having some struggles with Spanish. I don't know how you fix that. I'm sure Dr. Gurley is doing the best he can with that. But no, look, other than that, do I have any novel ideas? No, nor am I prepared to speak on that, truthfully. I'd have to do some research. I'd have to see what other best practices that other districts are doing, and go from there.
Okay. My last question is, it can be a yes or no, or you can explain it, but so over the years that I've been a teacher, I've seen a lot of school board elections where the school board breaks into factions. It's almost always a 5-4 vote most of the time on the school board. I see that a lot, yeah. So my question is, can you be an individual voice and just vote what you feel, what you think is best, regardless of what the rest of the members are thinking?
Yes, I don't think that's gonna be an issue. I can do what I want to do within reason, obviously following the law and things like that. But yeah, I don't get caught, at least I don't want to believe I get caught in groupthink. I think I can take information from various resources and make the best decision that I can. If people get upset with that, well, that's called leadership.
Well, that's important to me, is that somebody can be individual and vote what they think's best, regardless of what the crowd's going after. So that's important to me.
Well, you are not gonna always make the crowds happy. I'm sure Dr. Garrett's been through that. I'm sure the mayor's been through that. And I'm sure any administrator has been through that.
Well, that was my 2 questions. Thank you.
These people have already asked about all the questions. You know, I'm looking for somebody that supports Dr. Gurley because I have been watching what he's doing, and I know he's the best we have. With that being said, and that question's already been asked, so do you have a professional license? Maybe you've done some community work out in the community that?
Well, I worked for Volunteer Behavior Health, and as I said, we were on a grant program through telehealth, which provided psychiatric services.
For Grundy County?
Yes, I worked in high school, providing this telehealth for therapists and doctors, which provided meds. I worked with Miss Dykes when she was over at Tracy City. Also worked at North for many years doing that. As I said, I did a side contract too as a threat assessment coordinator on a grant program, which ended.
Was that volunteer work?
No, that wasn't necessarily volunteer work, but we were providing a service to the community. I've been a part of the backpack program. I've been the drug coalition. I've done the, I'm trying to think of that other group that meets at the UTC alumni place. I've been involved in that group, whatever that healthy coalition thing. I've been
Grundy County Health Council.
That's it. I've been to numerous Rotary Club meetings with Sheila Beard, which is my mother, and Miss Park, Emily Park, and others, and their family members. I've been on some of the meetings with the, just various things.
Right.
It's a lot of it's on my resume, but not all of it, of course. And truthfully, the memory ain't good.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Are we able to go?
Yes.
Sure.
You're welcome to stay, you can go.
No, let me go.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you, gentlemen.
I appreciate it.
having me. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
I got your resume.
Right here.
Probably. No, by Rooster.
Oh, it's registered.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Unless you got a picture of Rooster's kids.
Everybody got a copy?
Ms. Gray, all these questions have been asked to every single candidate, so I just want to give you that
Same
disclaimer, same exact questions to every candidate, just so you know.
Okay.
We'll start down there with Mr. Cordell.
State your name, occupation, retire, past, whatever, and where you live.
My name is Dawn Gray. I live in the manor at present. I am a retired registered nurse of 30+ years. The last probably 20 years of my career, I was in administration, education, and I was a patient advocate for HCA's Tri-Star region.
I've got a few questions that we know around here. Do you have a personal agenda or vendetta against any school board member, teacher or director of schools?
No, sir.
And we've asked these same questions to every participant. Did you graduate from Grundy County High School?
No, sir.
Do you have children in the Grundy County school system?
No, sir.
What will you contribute to the Grundy County Board of Education if you obtain this seat?
Love that question. In all transparency, the past few weeks for the school board has been somewhat tumultuous, and it's gotten a lot of publicity, which has been negative. And my background is in problem solving and going in to either situations with groups of people or maybe just a couple people, and I would be brought in to help solve conflict. That was my job for 7 years. And when I say conflict, I mean a conflict where a surgeon cut off below the knee on the left leg and it was to be the right. And to have to sit with the family and go through that process to try to be the mediator, a great listener, full of compassion, and in the interest of the hospital, try to keep it out of the media. That was my job. And I did that for a long time. And so when I saw all of that happening, I was drawn to come into that situation because my past experience, I'm not the end all be all, but I can often be a catalyst to help things be better. The other thing that I am a big proponent of is making decisions not based on emotion, but based on facts. And sometimes when we have differences, whether it be in a school board meeting or with any group of people, and our emotions are raised, we often do not listen to the facts. And we make decisions based on our emotions. And that is something that I try really hard to base my decisions on facts. The thing that also really made me passionate about winning this position is that what is going on has affected our teachers, it's affected ultimately our students, our parents. It's not going to be the first place that a graduate looks to come work. And it's a reflection on every leader in this county. And I want to be part of the change to turn that around. And I'm passionate about that. I am passionate about education and children and teachers getting what they need. There's no doubt in that. I myself am a lifelong learner. I love to learn. And I want our children in this county, every one of them, to have every opportunity to succeed as an adult. And so I guess if I made a vision statement for what I would want, the mission statement would be that if you are a school board member, that the decisions you make, how is it going to affect the child, the teacher, the county, and go from there, that platform. I hope I answered your question.
How many Grundy County Board of Education meetings have you attended in the past year?
One.
Have you spoken with the director about an update of what we need to move our school system forward?
Absolutely. I met with Dr. Grundy. I had never met him before. And I spent about Dr. Gurley, he knows that, we regularly discusses it. But he was very gracious to show me data, the numbers. And the numbers spoke very highly of his performance. And I am very data driven because data is not based on emotion, it's based on facts for the most part. And he's a gold mine. And that doesn't mean that every member of the school board or everybody in here has to agree with everything he does. I'm sure if I worked with him day in, day out, there would be things he did I did not agree with. But overall, he is a huge asset to this county. And if people, and that's the other thing about conflict and emotions and facts, we need to get to a point that if we have an issue with Dr. Gurley, if he has made a decision or talking about a decision, as a school board member, I need to go look at Dr. Gurley, set up an appointment and say, help me understand why. I want to make a decision about this. I don't like what you're saying, but I want to know where you're coming from. And as long as we work on that platform, I think it'll serve everybody better. And it will prove itself to be, we will be a more successful group.
I've got one more question, I'm gonna answer this, I'm gonna ask you because the rest of it. Can you work diligently for the director of the school?
100%.
Thank you. Mr. Chair.
Commissioner Lockhart. Commissioner Grundy. Commissioner Lush. Well, I've asked the rest of them, Ms. Stone, so I gotta ask you too. But I think you done answered it in your statement. In a heated situation, at a school board meeting, can you keep your cool?
You have my word, I can keep my cool. I would not do anything to embarrass any of you or this county.
Thank you. Commissioner Rogers?
Well, she already answered my question in this top of the resume there when she said she was supporting, collaborating with the Director of Education, Dr. Gurley. And that's what I wanted to know, make sure that somebody would work with him and support him because he's the best we've had.
My turn.
Okay.
Have you ever ran for a school board position before? Okay. Why didn't you run in the previous election? I've asked everybody that.
But you have, I'm just gonna say that at that point, God had not put that on my heart.
Okay, that's fair. If you were to be appointed to this position, would it be your intention to run in the next election?
Absolutely.
My last question is kind of a statement along with a question. Over the last couple of years under Dr. Gurley's leadership, there's been some of the best upkeep on our buildings. A lot of things have been done that has been let fall by the wayside for many years. But we're starting to see our properties taken care of now more than they ever have. Not just, my background is construction, so a lot of times I'll look at that aspect of it, but not just from the maintenance side of it, but from the school system as a whole. Do you feel like over the last couple of years that we are heading in the right direction, in a positive direction? Or do you feel like that we're regressing, that we have a lot of improvement to do? Do you feel like overall we're heading in the right direction? I guess is my question.
I do, under the direction of Dr. Gurley, and based on the things that I looked at with him, numbers, budget, all of that, absolutely.
That's all I had. Thank you.
Ms. Gray, I have a couple questions. So it's important that we have a vision for the future for our Board of Education. What is something you would like to see in a 5-year plan? In other words, are there any programs or anything that you would like to see implemented or brought in over the next 5 years to improve our system?
I think, and I don't know what this will look like, but you're asking, and I have thought about this.
Okay.
And I would need to think about it more. But we need, I feel, as a school board, if I were chosen and I'm on the school board, I need some set of, I want to say policy maybe, that holds me accountable. For example, something that would say in a heated meeting that a school board member does not use foul language. That's non-negotiable. We're leaders and we don't act that way. So I think there needs to be more accountability. What that should look like, Kelly, I'm not really sure, but I do think everybody needs to have accountability to some sort. And I'm not sure what the accountability is right now. And I think that would help. Because if you're held accountable, you know, there's certain things that are just not allowed. You can't do that as a school board.
And my last question, I've asked everyone this too. I've told everybody I've been a teacher for a lot of years. I saw a lot of school board elections. And it seems like the way the school board tends to fall is it turns into two different factions almost always, with 4 on one side and 5 on the other. Then there's an election and it'll flip and you'll have 5 on this side, 4 on that side. And it seems like, and I'm not saying this of the current board, or I'm just saying I've seen in the past people vote the way their buddies vote. What I want to know is, can you be your own person and vote your way, regardless of what the rest of the group wants to do or not? Can you go in there and vote your conscience regardless?
Absolutely. And I know that that's the questions that Mr. Cordell asked. You know, did I graduate from here? Did my kids go here? And all of my answers are no. And I think that might be a benefit. Because I'm not a local. Joe Gray and I feel like we're locals. We're very invested up here. We love where we live. We love the people. This is home. And we're not going anywhere. But I don't have anybody pushing me for an agenda, or I just don't have that aspect, and I'm blessed because of it. So, to your question, I would not have any problem.
Okay, thank you.
Don, you've got your licensed nurse. I was just wondering if you've used those skills or that knowledge for any volunteer work in the community, like these free clinics we have, things like that.
I am on the, I think it's called the Health Council. I did Dr. Peterman. I go to that. I have not volunteered. Well, that's not true. I am a volunteer for the South Tourism. I volunteer with them quite a lot. And so yes, I have.
Okay.
And in the past, when I worked, I volunteered a lot. We had to do so many hours a year. So Habitat for Humanity was a big one.
Talk about Jim Peterman.
Yes.
That's all.
Anybody else? Thank you, Don. Anybody else got anything to follow up? I'd just like to say one thing. Kelly brought it, kind of touched on it there a little bit, and I just want him to elaborate on it because he's told us this many times. And just for everybody's information that don't know this, tell them how many directors you went through.
Dr. Durley's number 11. This is my 20th year as a teacher, and Dr. Durley's number 11. I went through 14 principals at the high school in 19 years. I'm starting number 20 now.
I think that's speaks volumes to me that we need to be headed in the right direction, and I feel like that we are.
We need stability.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Don.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
I want to hand out one resume that was no show, but I'm still going to pass it out.
Anybody know why he didn't show?
He's been on. He doesn't hurt. He's came in like everybody else.
I think he's retired on military,
He did know that the meeting was done.
as far as I know.
I mean, everybody else showed up.
Yeah, as far as I know. Technically, you can't, I mean, the person. I'll tell y'all again how this will go. We'll go through the budget probably first. Get that out of the way that night. We're trying to keep the agenda as light as possible before us that night. So then, whenever we do the appointment, nominations will have to come from the county commission. Nominations will, once nominations cease, those will be taken. Then it takes 5 votes. Once 5 votes is reached, it's over. Going to go to the next candidate. Whoever gets the 5 votes.
That'll be District 1.
Normally, that district, the way we always done it is, the District 1 commissioners,
What order do you go in, how do you decide that?
you go by nomination. You go by nomination.
In the past, it's been the order they've been nominated.
We need Monday night, 20 minutes before we do that, us 3 get together and talk.
I don't know if that can be made because of sunshine law. So,
Well, that's what-
you know what I'm saying? I'm saying, I mean, you don't want to avoid it.
Well, that's what I'm thinking, we just have to.
Avoid the vote.
We just
It'll
have to
be
do
like-
it out there, you know.
I think you will do it like you just.
No, if 3 or more meet, like
One,
that, that's a
one
violation.
was
If 3 or more meet, that's a
We have
violation.
to decide.
3 or more.
That's
Yeah, I think 3 or more.
But that's the way we're gonna do it this time. That will come from our district.
Yeah, that's, how y'all want to do that, that's the way it's always been, usually that district gets together and talk, 3 or more, like you and Danny can talk about it, and you and David can talk about it, but as far as 3 or more, it's a violation. So,
If we can do it right there, you know.
yeah,
Okay.
we'll do that, and, like we always have, that person will take
But I think we've had some good, notes I've taken and said this to people, I think we've had some good happening.
I think you got some really good, people that have.
There is no decision as far as I'm concerned, made, not now, because we've got to read everybody's resumes. Look, you get this more detail.
Everybody have the nomination, they cannot be voted. Only nomination is from the commission. It'll be voted. So you have like. I'm the one that make a recommendation like that, say, Joe will be nominated for the commission.
Just so y'all know,
Going on here.
and I thought this was the way that we had to do this in appointment sheriff or whatever. They can be nominations from the crowd, but the commissioner, they cannot be nominated, but they can suggest that one of y'all nominate so, you know, whoever. And it's up to you whether you want to make that nomination or not. Okay?
Yeah, I think I've had that happen.
Yeah.
Probably do that.
I remember once before we were on here, there was a nomination.
You don't have to talk about it around here.
Yeah, I remember.
But as far as the law is concerned, any of the commissioners can make a nomination.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. I just want to make sure that.
Any commissioner can make a nomination. When the majority vote, which takes 5 votes, is reached, it's
Oh, excuse me, I'll talk to you.
He said by the law, man. He said,
About what?
he said by the law, any commissioner can make a
Yes.
nomination.
Not by tradition, by the law.
Yeah,
We've already done it in our procedures, is that what us through?
Yeah, I'm just saying by the law, or that's what he said by the law.
That's how it's always been done, it's not written in stone.
That wasn't done that way last time.
What is written in stone, girl, I can't eat it. Very little,
Yeah, we made a nomination and then somebody else made a nomination for somebody else. No. I don't think so. Well, my man, probably was.
I'm gonna say it was anyway. I don't remember. I'm gonna say it
Was that it? We dismissed?
We're ready to go.
We done, Michael?
Yes.
All right.